Welcome back, and oh boy, I just threw a bunch of text on the screen. Don't hate me, I did this so in the future you can pause the video when you revisit it and have a nice summary of what you need to do with images. But I'm going to give you the details now, going one by one. So let's go through some of the points. The first ones we've already covered, right? If you want transparency, you might want to use PNG. If you want animations, then use a GIF. If you want really colorful, detailed images, then you should probably use JPEG. Nice spelling there on my part. And if you want simple icons, logos, or illustrations that can scale, well, you can use SVGs. Now, I talked about compressing some of these, especially PNG and JPEG that tend to get pretty big. And we can reduce the size of them without losing image quality in our websites using some tools online. And there are actually a ton of tools that you can use. These ones are my favorite, so I'm going to show you how they work. So let's go through them. Let's use a large PNG file and make it small with tiny PNG, and then a large JPEG file and make it smaller with JPEG Optimizer. Let's have a look. I have over here the two websites we're going to use. Again, you have online versions, you have apps that you can download to do these sort of things. These two are just my favorite and tried and tested really good tools, and they're free. So with JPEG Optimizer, we can set the compression level, we can set the size of our image, and we simply choose a file. I actually have two very large files that I've downloaded here. One's a JPEG and one is a PNG. So for JPEG Optimizer, let's load this large image. I'm going to choose file. And you can see over here that it's 13.2 megabytes, just absolutely massive. You definitely don't want to send that over the wire for a user, especially if they're on their mobile phones. That's going to take forever to load. So I'm going to open that and just click Optimize Photo. It's going to do its work here because it is pretty large. In the meantime, let's go to Tiny PNG. They have a nice little panda logo, which I'm a big fan of. And you see over here, they actually do JPEG files as well, which is very misleading because their name is Tiny PNG. Looks like they're expanding. Anyway, so let's drop a large PNG file here. Oh, if I can drag, and drop it in here. We see that it's 3.8 megabytes, pretty big, but Tiny PNG is pretty fast, and look at that. We've just minimized it by 1.1 megabytes without losing any quality, and we just saved 71%. Very, very cool. How easy was that? I can just download the file now and use it in my website. Let's see what the JPEG Optimizer has been up to. All right, they have even bigger savings here. We have 99.9% savings. That's pretty insane. So we went from a massive 13 megabyte file size to just 13.5 kilobytes. And if we're just displaying an image like this on a website, you can see that it's still very clear. Very cool. So that's nice and easy, right? Now, let's go back to our list and see what else we have. All right, so now we know how to use Tiny PNG and JPEG Optimizer. Let's look at the next point. We want to try and choose simple illustrations over highly detailed photographs. And that's pretty self-explanatory. Whenever you're building a website or a web app, just be conscious of what images are you using. Do you really need that super detailed photo of your dog? Or can you just maybe use a nice dog icon instead? Let's go to the next one. Always lower JPEG image quality between 30 and 60%. I'm going to demonstrate how to do that very, very easily. I have over here my large JPEG file. Again, remember it's 13 megabytes. Very, very cool image. I can actually simply compress it without losing any quality by, let's just duplicate this. And when I save, I get a little bar here, and you can do this with a lot of online tools. and I can just change the quality. You can see that the file size right now is 4.2. If I do it all the way up, it's 20 megabytes now. And if I do it all the way down, look at that, less than a megabyte. If I save this, all right, there's the image, and the quality seems still pretty much the same with the other one. So again, always compress your images. There's other tools like ImageOptim that is also really, really good. Like I said, tons to choose from online. We're almost there. Let's look at resizing images based on size it will be displayed. And this is self-explanatory, but something that not a lot of people do, and I see this mistake being made all the time. You want to start by matching up the image's resolution to the size that is actually displayed on a website. So for example, if you're displaying an image at only 500 pixels wide, let's say your CSS says that the width of the image is 500 pixels, then you don't need to keep that image at 1,500 pixels. Chop it down to the actual size, because an image with half the width will be even less than half the size. So make sure that you're actually using the size that's appropriate for you. You're never going to need something that's 5,000 pixels wide. And you can even adjust the size to make your images look sharp on higher definition displays like Retina or 4K. But you really don't need to go any higher than that. So repeat after me. The larger the resolution, the larger the file size. So to keep them small. All right, for the last three over here, we're going to take a break and cover them in the next video. So grab a coffee or a tea, and I'll see you in the next video. So don't leave me hanging. I'll see you in that one. Bye-bye.